only thing is it could be too late. So I just launched it's a 84 team college football themed Dynasty League. So a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, so is it college players? No, it's just NFL players. It's like your standard fantasy football league, but it's just themed after college teams. So imagine instead of your team name being the Titan Truckers, you would be like Ohio State. For Anthony, Wisconsin. For me, you could be the ACC, the Big 12, Pac-12, a couple independent teams in there. So there's 84 teams, 7 different divisions. You got the 5 Power 5 conferences, and then 2 other divisions, the Mountain West and the Independents. And then that basically plays out like 7 separate fantasy leagues throughout the season. So each conference has their own player pool. So it's not spread out between the 84 teams. It's spread out between 12 teams in each division. And I created like a formula of ranking, kind of like the college football ranking system. So we take strength of schedule, we take your record versus all of the teams in the league, we take wins, losses, a couple different things to give you rankings. And at the end of the season, so you play weeks 1 through 12. And then week 13 is going to be your conference championships. And then after that, you either qualify the top 8 teams in the whole 84 will qualify for the college football playoff. Essentially, I call it the college football championship just because personal reasons. But so the top 8 teams qualify for that. The winner, the top prize is $500, which isn't bad. The runner-up gets $260. And then it just kind of trickles on down from there. And then, so that's the top 8. And then the next 48 teams that are ranked are going to be thrown into different bowl games. So we have like the Orange Bowl, we have the Rose Bowl, the Gator Bowl, like whatever bowl you can think of. And so you have a list of major bowls and a list of minor bowls. And so just based on where you are ranked at the end of the season, you're going to get paired up. And basically, if you make a bowl, if you make a major bowl, you're going to win your money back regardless. If you win a minor bowl, you're going to win your money back regardless. So it's pretty low stakes. The cost is $35. It's not a lot, but like with 84 teams, that's how you can get big payouts like that, is just because so many teams are in there. But yeah, that's kind of my 10 cents. It's an auction draft. So the way Dynasty Leagues work, if you've never played in a Dynasty League, is you basically have one draft, and that sets up the course of the league for however long the league goes for. So rather than, playing each year and you draft a new team, you have to draft, like you get Julio Jones one year, and then the next year you get the 12th spot in the draft and you get Melvin Gordon. This way, whoever you draft gets to stay in your team as long as you want them to. The only way that you acquire new teams is through free agency, through trades, and then through the incoming rookies that are coming out of college into the NFL. So with the auction draft, a lot of people, it's been around for a while, auction drafts, so it's definitely it's becoming more popular. But basically, I heard it put today this way, like Anthony, if he joins this league and he gets the 101, the first pick in the draft, he didn't have to do anything to get the pick. It was basically just given to him out of luck. And if I want that pick, if I want Christian McCaffrey or Patrick Mahomes at that point, I basically have to pay Anthony a lot. It's going to cost me a lot to get that pick for something that Anthony didn't necessarily have to work for. And so how the auction works is that everyone bids. Everyone gets the same amount of money. You get $1,000 of like virtual currency to bid to create your roster. So if instead of Anthony just automatically getting Christian McCaffrey or me having to give him 3 picks for him, we basically, the whole league goes into a bidding war, and you place your bets for how much you want to pay for a certain player. So it allows you to get the players that you want on your team, unless someone outbids you. But 2, it also, you don't get stuck, like you're not the 12th pick in the first round where you're like, oh man, I know I'm drafting at the turn, but I feel like I missed out on all the good players. So that's just kind of a unique part to it. I've done a few auction drafts, and it's definitely becoming my favorite, just because you really get full control over how you want to do it, and it just makes it fun because you get to kind of do like some math. It kind of feels like you're giving out money to sign these players, so it just kind of gives you more of that feel of like an NFL GM who has like a allotted amount of money that he can spend on free agents. So it's called the College Football Championships Dynasty League. If you are interested, you can DM us. Otherwise, I have it on my Twitter, which is at KOTS Fantasy. The link's on there. But you basically just go in, you fill out a form. If you want more info, you just list the teams that you would be interested in, whether it's Ohio State, Michigan State, USC, Notre Dame, any of those teams. And then we basically will go through and sort through the requests and then grant you access to the team, and we'll get going. So that's it kind of in short, just to introduce it to some people. But if you have any questions, that was like the short version, but I have like the entire list of rules. If you're a nerd like me and you want to read all the rules, I recommend it. So